Level 1, the beginning. Every trader remembers the moment it started, not the exact date, not the exact chart, just the feeling. It's late at night. You're scrolling through YouTube when a video catches your attention. Some trader is talking about currency pairs, leverage, and making money from a laptop. You barely understand the terminology, but something about it feels important. One video turns into 5. 5 turn into 10. Before you realize it, it's 2 in the morning, and you've opened a demo trading account. You don't tell anyone. It feels like you've discovered something hidden. The platform looks complicated. Candles flash across the screen. Numbers jump constantly. Everything feels overwhelming. Yet within minutes, you place your first trade. The market moves in your direction. $12, 4 minutes. Done. You know it's not real money, but your brain doesn't care. The excitement is real. And then the thought arrives. If making money looks this easy, why isn't everyone doing it? You don't know it yet, but that single question is about to lead you into one of the longest learning experiences of your life. For the next few weeks, you're obsessed. You study indicators, moving averages, RSI, support, and resistance. You watch tutorials while eating, while commuting, before sleeping. You discover a strategy online claiming an incredible win rate. The person sharing it sounds confident. The comments are positive, so naturally, you believe it. Eventually, confidence replaces caution. You deposit your first real money, $500. This feels different. This feels serious. Now, you're not just someone learning. You're a trader. At least that's what you tell yourself. Then comes the first live trade. The setup looks perfect. Everything matches what you've learned. You enter. Within minutes, the market moves against you. You wait. You stay patient. You tell yourself it'll come back. It doesn't. 40 minutes later, you've lost $80. You close the trade. Sit quietly. And convince yourself the problem wasn't the strategy. You simply chose the wrong trade. Level 2, the struggle. After enough losses, most traders reach the same conclusion. I just need more education. And honestly, it's a reasonable belief. You assume somewhere out there is the missing piece, the perfect course, the perfect mentor, the perfect strategy. You just haven't found it yet. So you consume everything. Trading websites, books, courses, forums. You fill notebooks with notes. You finally learn proper risk management. You discover why professionals only risk a small percentage of their accounts. You build a trading plan. Everything feels organized for a few days. Then the market presents an opportunity that isn't in your plan. It looks obvious, too obvious to ignore, so you take it and lose. Again. Soon a familiar cycle develops. Follow rules. Break rules. Lose money. Promise to improve. Repeat. You begin believing psychology is the issue. Everyone says trading is mostly mental. So you work on your mindset, meditation, journaling, checklists, discipline exercises. Some help. Some don't. But there's a deeper problem. A trader can be perfectly disciplined while following a strategy that has no genuine advantage. And that's exactly where many traders get stuck. They think they're fixing execution when the real issue is the system itself. Meanwhile, you join online communities, thousands of traders posting profits, winning streaks, account growth screenshots, massive returns. It feels like everyone is succeeding except you. So you copy ideas, follow signals, trade other people's opinions. Sometimes it works, most times it doesn't. Months pass. Your account rises, falls, receives new deposits, falls again. You tell yourself you're still learning, and technically that's true, but you're learning lessons completely different from the ones you expected. Level 3, discovering an edge. Around the 10-month mark, something changes. Not because you found the secret, because you're exhausted from searching for it. You're tired of chasing magic indicators, tired of new strategies, tired of promises. So for the first time, you stop looking outward and start looking directly at the market itself. You spend hours watching charts without trading, no predictions, no indicators, no YouTube videos, just observation. You begin noticing details where price hesitates, where momentum accelerates, where trends weaken, where reversals actually occur. The market starts making more sense because you're finally seeing it instead of interpreting it through someone else's opinion. Slowly you build a simple framework, not complicated, just a few rules. Specific conditions. Clear risk management. You manually backtest it, trade after trade, month after month of historical data. The results aren't spectacular. The win rate isn't 90%, it's closer to 55%, maybe 58%. But for the first time, it's real. The edge exists, it's measurable, and most importantly, it's yours. Your first month following the framework produces a small gain. The next month is slightly positive. The month after that is negative, then positive again. This doesn't feel exciting. It feels repetitive, predictable, professional. You finally understand something beginners rarely hear. Consistency is boring. And that's exactly why it works. Level 4, scaling up. 6 months later, your framework is still producing results. Not perfect results, just reliable ones. You increase your capital. Suddenly the percentages remain the same, but the dollar amounts start growing. A 6% month used to mean almost nothing. Now it gets your attention. Losses feel different too. A larger losing trade creates pressure. Not panic, just pressure. But unlike before, you don't react emotionally. You don't revenge trade. You don't double down. You accept the outcome and move on. That maturity took years to develop. You also begin surrounding yourself with better traders, not people selling lifestyles, not people posting screenshots, people discussing process, risk, execution, mistakes. The conversations feel different, more honest, more useful. And eventually, you realize something important. Most of the flashy content you consumed in your first year wasn't designed to create successful traders. It was designed to attract beginners. And for a long time, you were exactly the audience it targeted. Level 5, becoming professional. At this point, trading becomes more than a hobby. It's part of your lifestyle. Your sleep schedule matters, your focus matters, your health matters. Everything that affects decision-making becomes important. You stop looking for shortcuts. You start treating performance seriously. People begin noticing your results. A few ask whether you'll manage some of their money. After careful consideration, you agree. Now the responsibility changes. It's no longer only your account. It's someone else's trust. That creates a completely different kind of pressure. Losses still happen. Drawdowns still happen. But accountability becomes part of the process. You refine your strategy further, remove weak setups, improve execution, become more selective. There are days where no trade appears. You sit and wait. Because one of the hardest lessons in trading is understanding that doing nothing is often the correct decision. Level 6, the operator. Years pass. The capital grows. Investors arrive through referrals rather than advertisements. Your reputation becomes more valuable than your marketing. You build systems around the trading itself. Reporting systems, risk management systems, administrative systems. The operation grows larger than the charts. Money begins feeling abstract. A large position no longer feels like a large position. It feels like exposure, risk, probability, nothing more. You learn that emotional distance from money is necessary, Without it, decision-making becomes impossible. The market starts influencing your lifestyle. Even during weekends, part of your attention remains connected. Not because you're obsessed, because responsibility never fully switches off, and you've accepted that reality. Level 7, the architect. Eventually, growth forces a new transition. You can't do everything yourself anymore. So you build a team. Analysts, developers, risk managers, operations staff. You create systems that continue functioning without your constant involvement. At first, letting go feels impossible. You want control over everything. You want to review every trade, every decision, every detail. But scalability requires trust. Over time, you move from execution to oversight, from trader to architect. Your focus shifts toward improving the structure rather than making individual trades. Investors become more sophisticated. Questions become deeper. Conversations revolve around risk metrics, consistency, and long-term performance. You are no longer running a trading account. You're running a business. Level 8, the peak. The office is quiet. The systems work. The team performs. The business operates smoothly. You still make important decisions, but you're no longer glued to every chart. Years of experience have changed how you view markets. You no longer see them as puzzles waiting to be solved. You see them as human behavior expressed through price. Millions of decisions, millions of emotions, millions of participants, all interacting at once. Your edge isn't knowing the future. It's recognizing situations where the crowd is more likely to be wrong. That understanding took years to develop and years more to trust. Investors rely on you, not because you're always right, because you're consistently disciplined. There's nothing left to prove. No screenshots to post. No arguments to win. The results speak for themselves. One afternoon, you're preparing to leave when a message arrives. A junior trader asks a question. The confidence in the message instantly reminds you of yourself years ago. You smile because you remember. You remember believing success would be quick. You remember believing there was a secret formula. You remember thinking one winning trade meant you'd figured everything out. Somewhere right now, another beginner has just made money on a demo account. They're excited. They're convinced they've cracked the code. Soon they'll fund their first account. Soon they'll experience their first loss, and soon they'll begin the same journey. A journey that takes far longer than expected, costs more than expected, teaches more than expected. But for those who stay long enough, they eventually discover the truth. Trading was never about finding the perfect strategy. It was about becoming the type of person who could execute an imperfect strategy with consistency, patience, and discipline. And that's what separates traders who dream about success from traders who eventually achieve it.